Hi everyone, welcome along to the SFC interviews here with former Stevenage striker Tyrone Marsh. We were just talking there. Obviously, you're currently at Boro, sitting. Well, you're about seventh at the moment in the table. So, how's your season been going? And obviously, final couple of games and a big push towards that playoffs as well.
Yeah, Bournemouth, we always get in and around the playoffs, so this is like kind of normal. But I think as Bournemouth's kind of a club where we push above our boat, so it's good to always get in the playoffs, and we're in the playoffs now, so we just got to keep it going for the last, I think it's 7 games. Just
You've
get
got
in
a
there.
brilliant gaffer over there at Boro and Luke Garrard as well, haven't you? He's one of the sort of more highly thought of gaffers really out of league football.
Yeah. He's had interest over the years because he's done well with Bournemouth, and to be fair, he's a good gaffer. Like he's a good man manager as well. Like with me, he's great with me. He says if he had a daughter, he'd let me marry her. So nah, but yeah, he's good. He's a good manager.
No, that's really good. It's great to have that, and I'm sure he will get into football league management, sooner rather than later as well. I think there was interest there might even been interest from Stevenage a couple of times actually. To be fair,
Is there?
I think there may have been, yeah. His name's been rumored a couple of times. I think when Steve Evans was taken over, he was in the running. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it seemed like when there's clubs there and abouts like near London, his name's always up there. So I guess his time will come.
I'm sure it will. Yeah. We'll touch on when you signed for Stevenage because wow, that was a weird summer, wasn't it? That was a very very weird summer.
Yeah, it was. It was a weird summer. I think I signed late on as well. I had a good season at Bournemouth. I mean, I signed from Macclesfield and then joined Bournemouth, and then I had a good season. I think I got 16 goals. But I was only on a year contract, so I knew my contract was up. There might have been interest, and then Stevenage came in, and I spoke to Revs, and then it just took it from there really.
And how was that for a player? Like, going into a club and you have no idea what league you're going to be playing in. You could be conference, you could be League Two. Like, how did that sit with you as a player?
Yeah, it was a weird one. In my mind, I always thought they were going to stay in League Two.
Yeah.
I thought, obviously, I was at Macclesfield before, so I knew kind of what's gone on with Macclesfield. But yeah, I always thought Stevenage would get it and they will stay in the league. If not, National League, proven there. So it didn't matter to me.
And we had some good players as well, like, players that came in, obviously yourself, Inni, Femi, who else was there? Marcus Denanga, and then we had guys like Ben Coker, like all the experienced guys, Luke Prosser, Scott Cuthbert, guys like that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
We had a mixture of guys that could do it at, all levels, basically. Yeah.
So I think he prepared for both, and then in League Two obviously stayed in League Two.
Yeah,
and we just took it how it came.
And obviously, your first game for Stevenage was against Portsmouth, wasn't it? It was a mad 3-3 game against Portsmouth in the cup. And I know I remember speaking to Cokes actually at the time, and he was saying obviously fans and stuff weren't allowed at that time, but Mr. Portsmouth FC managed to get himself up a tree, didn't he, to watch half of that game?
Yeah, it was a good game. For my first game to draw with Portsmouth, I thought, wow, we're ready for the season now, because on paper that's a hard game with the team they put out as well, and we drew.
They were league above, weren't they? They were League One side at that time. Yeah,
so it was a good game. It was a good game to be involved with, and I started, so I was happy.
I remember watching all the games that season on iFollow. It was just so surreal, like just seeing the stadium empty and, obviously nobody there on a match day, apart from obviously, you guys, the management staff and sort of just immediate club staff. It was just so weird to watch that. And, there was a couple of times where fans were allowed into the stadium as little trial runs and things like that. But most of the time watching it on iFollow was so surreal and so strange.
Yeah, it was so weird to be a part of it, playing in front of no fans. Obviously, it feels like a training game. Like,
Mhm.
but you got to get yourself up for it.
Yeah.
There's still 3 points at stake, or there's still get into the next stage of the cup. So you got to get yourself up for it.
It was just a mad season. It really was like that summer, and then obviously, we luckily managed to keep ourselves in the league. Obviously, I don't want to say anything about Macclesfield. Obviously, we wish them well, and it's good that they've got a club and they're sort of reformed and everything now and doing all right. Compared to what they were anyway a few years back.
Yeah.
But it was great from Stevenage point of view to be kept in the league and then to kind of just have a chance to go again really and really sort of regroup and everything like that.
No, it's good. And if you look at Stevenage now,
I know, flying high.
League One bound.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Be nice if that's the case.
I think you'll do it.
I'd love to think so. We've got some tricky games coming up: Northampton, Mansfield away, but then we've got some games which are pretty winnable on paper as well, really. So hopefully, with the experience of Steve Evans, we'll get over the line. Yeah,
that's good.
But obviously, you said about Alex Ravel, the man that brought you into the club. He's back working at the club. He obviously was manager for a while. Then he was assistant manager. He was like working with the youth team. And now he's dropped down to work under Steve Evans as his coach. So, I've spoke to Alex a couple of times, and he's always just a very humble guy. He's just a lovely bloke, Alex. He's a real, he's a football guy, and just a lovely bloke. And I'm so glad that he's still working with the club.
Yeah, I don't have a bad word to say about Revs. Obviously, I didn't play as much as I'd like to, but he was such a nice guy to me. Like, man to man, I spoke to him. He loved me, so I ain't got a bad word to say about him. To be fair,
it's good that he's doing well on the coaching staff as well. And Steve Evans knew him from when he was at Rotherham. He scored that wonderful goal in the playoff final for him. So I think he's replaying that a little bit.
Yeah, it is good, especially if like you've been at the club. It's good to keep the unity and the showing really.
Yeah. So obviously we touched on that game there. There's a few boys that were around the camp that as well. Obviously, Lister, TVC, Lufa. I think Nos came in the January of that window as well. And obviously at Boro Wood, you played with Kane and Tay Ashby-Hammond, and they were alongside you in part of that FA Cup run where you got to face Everton as well.
Yeah, obviously Kano, he's one of my best mates.
Yeah,
I love the guy. He knows that. But he's a great player, man. And I always thought he's always asking me about Stevenage. Obviously, I gave it good reviews and what the training ground's like and that. And I said, obviously, Lufa was there when he was signing, and they're both right. I said it's going to be hard to get in. Lufa's a good player. Yeah, like, you'll run for your money, but that's what competition's for. And
Kane's really stepped up as well. Lufa's been out injured for the last few weeks, and Kane's come in and has done very, very well and looks pretty much a shoo-in at the moment to be getting player of the month.
Yeah, so I'm buzzing for him then. But, and then TVC, Listy and that. When I come to the club, they like took me in straight away, and I formed a good friendship with all of them. Charlie Carter, Don't
talk about him that much now. Is he at Woking? Is it Woking that he plays for these days?
No, he's at Eastleigh.
Eastleigh. So there's a few of them that went to Woking, so we don't talk about them ones as much.
Yeah, nah.
That's right. Like Scotty Cuthbert's now at Woking. Yeah,
Scott's at Woking.
But no, obviously there's a few guys. Obviously you play against a lot of those guys at the moment for Boro Wood as well, so you'll see a lot of them on sort of week by week basis. Yeah.
Yeah, I played Charlie on Saturday, I think last Saturday.
Okay.
I was just speaking to him. He's a great player, though. I love Charlie.
He was a quality player. We missed him a lot. He got injured a bit in that season, and we missed him quite a lot. Yeah. So let's have a look here. Yeah. So obviously, in your time at the club, you did actually manage to score for the club. I think it was only once, but Southampton 21s, wasn't it, in the Papa Johns?
Yeah.
So what was it like playing in that competition and against sort of under 21 players from sort of a Premier League side? Yeah.
It was But I think I played in that competition before, but when I played against Southampton, I think I was a bit I was in and out, but I just hadn't scored yet, and I played well that game.
Yeah.
And then literally in the last few minutes, I slid in and scored, and it was
I
just
remember the goal very well. I remember your performance actually being very, very good as well. I remember you putting in a really strong performance that day. Yeah.
yeah. So it was just good for me to get the goal after that performance, and then I was ready to kick on. But Southampton under 21s, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get hungry players that want to make a thing for the first team. But yeah, you just got to give it your all in every single game.
Especially when it comes to like somebody like Southampton as well, who have had so much. So it's not so much, but so many like real quality players that have come through that academy. The likes of Oxlade-Chamberlain, Gareth Bale, Theo Walcott. You know, that's just to name a couple. There's so many that have been in that 21s and worked their way up to, you know, international football and like, you know, Premier League football. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously they're going to have good players and they've got a good academy, players coming through. I think some of the right back was first team, I think, at one point. I see him playing in the Prem, and then
Oh, nice. Yeah.
yeah, he played in the game, so that was good to play against him and see where I was at and stuff. So yeah.
That's really good, and obviously, you know, able to test yourself against somebody that's gone on to Premier League football as well. So yeah, we said about COVID a little bit with that season, but you know, it was just a bit of an odd season. Obviously, we had the FA Cup run as well, didn't we? Where we went to the games against Hull, and the games against Swansea. So you know, that whole game, I remember watching that one, and it was a draw, wasn't it? And it went to penalties, and we won it on penalties. I bet that was so surreal to play in that, because obviously it was a massive moment for the club, and then to not have fans there to witness that would have played quite a big part as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a weird one. That whole season was weird. To play Hull in the FA Cup, yeah, that was good. Obviously, I think that was the
third round, fourth round. Yeah,
that was the furthest I've been at that point in the FA Cup, and
no.
yeah, it was good, man. I think I played centre attacking midfield in that game.
Yeah,
which obviously I don't play there, but
no,
I had to put a performance in, and they had some good players. I think Lewis Potter's in the Prem now. Was that his name?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was good. He was good. But yeah, it's good to be a part of.
And then we played Swansea, didn't we, in the round after that as well? We were beat, and I think that was Luke Norris's debut, possibly. I remember him missing a penalty on that game, and I'm sure that was his debut for the club. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I played that next game, but I do remember the goal. I think it was Routledge.
Yeah, Routledge scored one. Yeah.
God, how's he still doing it? How is he still doing that? But yeah, great quality, isn't he?
Just do that at like 34, 35, 36, whatever he was. Yeah. But no, he's a quality player. So yeah, we said about that, and obviously that was a real good FA Cup run. So you know, the game against Hull in particular, they obviously were finalists as well. So that would have obviously been, that's just massive for the club to go on and beat a former FA Cup finalist who obviously were well and truly in that game when I think it was extra time they lost to Arsenal, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, that game was mad. When it went to penalties, I thought, even extra time, I still got a chance here.
Yeah.
And then obviously it went to penalties. I thought, Jamie was in goal. I thought, yeah, he's definitely saving some.
He was a brilliant keeper. Like, I'm so glad that he's doing well and playing in League One and stuff now. Like, he was a fantastic player. Yeah.
He was very good. Obviously, Tay now.
Yeah.
I rate him very highly as well. So
we do as well. It's a shame that he's got injured, because like since Tay's got injured, we've been for about 700 keepers. So.
Trying to find a replacement.
We've missed him quite a lot lately, with him being injured, and hopefully he'll be back before the end of the season, because he's impressed us a lot, as is Kane as well. Yeah.
No, I'm glad for both of them. Very glad for both of them.
Obviously, you know, we sort of spoke about the FA Cup a little bit there. So obviously when you left the club, you went back to Boro again. So you signed from Boro, then came to Stevenage, then went back to Boro, and obviously you had that FA Cup run with Boro as well, where obviously you played AFC Wimbledon, Bournemouth away, and Everton, wasn't it? So that was when Kane and Tay Ashby-Hammond were obviously playing in that team as well. So, tell us about that competition and just what that competition means to you, because it seems to mean quite a lot.
Really, whenever we have an FA Cup round Bournemouth, they're like, obviously, do the best we can.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Then he's like, you've made history already. Why not make it again?
Yeah.
That one, who did we have first round? I think we had Barnet. So we had Barnet in a derby, beat them.
Yeah.
And then I think we played Eastleigh second round, beat them.
Yeah.
And then it was St Albans, which is another derby, really.
Yeah.
Beat them. And then Wimbledon. They named the team.
You scored against Wimbledon, didn't you, as well? You were one of the goal scorers in that game, yeah.
When they named the team at Wimbledon, it was like, even though they were in League One, we thought, why not? Like, there's not much difference. And then, we won 2-0. I scored. It was a good goal, to be fair. And then we found out that we got Bournemouth in the next round.
Bournemouth away, yeah.
Bournemouth away in the next round. And we was like, oh, why couldn't it be a bigger stadium?
Yeah.
Like, they were top of championship, so we couldn't complain. And then when we got there, we saw the team sheet and we thought, oh, they're taking it lightly. Like, they didn't all the good players that they should have been. So it was like, we've got a chance here. We've got a chance. And then started the game. Rico, the man who never scores.
Yeah, that's right. He never scores, and he scores the winner at Bournemouth.
Never scores. And then, before half time, got the ball back to him, edge of the box, placed it. And then, it was just a madness to win that. And then to hold out to get the win was crazy. And then at the final whistle, it was mad. The scenes were mad.
Did you know you were going to be playing Everton at that point, or was the draw like the day after, or what?
No, we knew.
You knew, yeah.
Because Kane's an Everton supporter, and he had his Everton top in his bag.
Yeah.
So I remember, we knew he was playing Everton. Kane was buzzing. He was like, "Oh, please, man, please, we need to win. And then, we won. Jumped in the crowd. Kane had his Hibbert shirt on.
Yeah.
and then Everton away as well. That's what dreams are made of. Everyone wants to play in the Prem when they're younger.
I was looking at their squad as well. They didn't take it lightly. They went, they brought like Richarlison off the bench and guys like that, Alex Iwobi. I think they had Rondon that scored a couple of goals. I think Andros Townsend was involved.
So to walk out in front of like 39,000, that was surreal. That was like, when I walked out, I heard the roar. I was like, this is mad. But it's a great experience. It was a great experience.
And that's what, the FA Cup's all about, isn't it? Sort of for players of, your level to actually go and play against big teams like that, Premier League teams, and to test yourself, really, especially like the away games like that. We had it at Stevenage against Aston Villa this season, and obviously Stevenage managed to get the win at Villa, which was a bit crazy, but
that was a mad game. I watched that game. That was crazy.
It was crazy in the terraces. I literally came back from holiday the day before and went to the Villa the next day. So I was like, just come back off of a 2-week holiday, and then the next day I was at Villa. So I just carried on basically. So
what a party.
Very, very good times.
I'm not surprised.
But no, it was really good that. And the season's been very good. Obviously, as you said earlier, the club are doing very, very well, sitting in the automatics at the moment with 9 games to go. And, what do you reckon to the chances? Do you reckon there's a good chance that Stevenage can go on and get that promotion to League One?
Yeah, I think they can. Obviously, I remember I was speaking to Kane when I think you were 10 points clear. Or 2 points clear of playoffs in the automatics. And then you had like a wobbly period, didn't you?
Yeah, and now we've gone to like within the space of about 1 point or something like that, or a couple of points. Yeah.
But I feel, I've always said to Kane, I feel like you get promoted automatics. I've always said that. And if you win against Northampton and Carlisle, I think they're the big games.
We played Carlisle. That was 0-0 away a couple of weeks ago. But
Oh
we've got
yeah, no.
Northampton away this weekend,
Yeah, that's a big game.
which is massive. Like that's they're 2 points ahead of us, and if we win that game and also have a game in hand as well, like we could put that to 5 points, which would be quite a good little gap again. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Or
you will
4
get
points,
promoted.
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you will. I think you do it. You've got a good
Hopefully.
squad as well. You've got a very good
The
squad.
squad is good. And that's what I like about it as well. When you look at guys like Kane and Tay, they're obviously the younger guys, but then we've got the more experienced players that have been there and done it, like the likes of Pierre Gianni, Dan Sweeney, Lufa as well, like even TVC to a degree as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in January you recruited well. So you signed like Jake Forster-Caskey. I was at Oxford.
Yeah.
No, you recruited very well. I was thinking, how are you signing all these players in January? Yeah, it's good to have.
It's crazy that we're doing so well as well. Like without Elliot List, like Elliot List got injured in the first game of the season, like, and if we had Elliot List, we could be promoted. Like probably maybe even by now. Like yeah.
He's the fastest guy in the world.
He's quality. He's rapid, isn't he? Like so rapid.
He's the fastest guy in the world. I think the fastest footballer I played with, definitely.
Yeah, he's a good mate of mine. I'll go and watch him on Twitch and stuff and on his streams at times, and yeah, he's I was speaking to him at the weekend, and hopefully we might see him before the end of the season, which would be lovely as well.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah,
hopefully he scores as well.
Get the winner at Boro away last game of the season, something like that. Yeah,
Boro away.
Yeah.
That's so far.
Last game of the season is
Oh, that's so far.
Got to blame the King for that one as well because it's on a like Monday lunchtime or something like. So
oh yeah. Well, that's mad.
It's going to be a crazy one. Yeah, looking forward to it though. So we touched on when you went back to the Forum Win a little bit. Obviously, we said about COVID and stuff, but we had the scheme, the coronavirus scheme as well, and obviously the players and staff were getting involved in that, and that was really important for you guys and the coaches and staff to get involved and serve the local community a bit, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, no, it was. COVID was a hard time, so I hope you can help out. It's good, especially for people in need who needed it as well. So it was always good to do that.
And then obviously, so we said about Boro Wood there and the FA Cup and everything. Let's have a little look. There's not an awful lot more to go through at all, to be honest. But yeah, with your own sort of, early days as a player, obviously you were at Oxford and stuff, and I think you came through the youth at Oxford, didn't you? And then went to Oxford and played a few games in the first team. But when you were starting out as a player, like who were your inspirations and who would you kind of look at as guys that you'd learn things off of and things like that? Yeah.
Well, my idols when I was growing up were Thierry Henry and Jermaine Defoe.
Oh, that's a broad okay, yeah.
They were my and I don't even support any of them teams, but when I was watching them, I was thinking, oh my god, obviously Henry speaks for himself. What he did.
Henry, I was looking at this the other day. Henry, I think it was the Invincible season. They played down here against Stevenage in a pre-season game. Arsenal won 7-0 and Thierry Henry scored a hat-trick in the first half or whatever it was. It's something ridiculous anyway. Yeah.
Nah, he's silly. I kind of think of it now though, is he like Mbappe is now?
That's a tricky question, that, because I think that's a hard one, yeah. Mbappe is a brilliant player. Probably but then obviously Mbappe was an out-and-out forward. Thierry Henry was a winger that was turned into a forward by Arsene Wenger. So Mbappe might end up being better.
Yeah. It'll be good to see anyway, because Henry, when he was in his prime, he was silly. And then Jermaine Defoe, just loved the way he played, his quick shots. His his movement and his finishing was just, it was sick. I like. So them two were my idols. I think at Oxford growing up, who was there? I think I looked at Tom Craddock.
Okay, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was in his he was part of my car school. So
Mm-hmm.
him and Pete 11 took me under their wing.
Nice.
Jake Wright, I was his boot boy. Like he looked after
Mm-hmm.
me. Like he brought
Yeah.
me through. Like proper looked after me. So them three I'd really credit, because if it weren't for them, who knows?
So there's some good players. Like Tom Craddock's a good player. I remember him being, achieving some pretty decent things in the game, really, or to his standard anyway. Yeah.
No, he was very good player, man. He's neat as a striker. He was very neat, and he could finish. His technique was mad.
Mm-hmm.
His technique was mad. So yeah, it was good. It was good to see.
Nice. We've only got a couple more things I want to touch on. So we touched on that one. So who was your team growing up? Like, who was your team you supported?
Man United.
Oh, so you're a Man United fan, yeah?
Yeah, Man United fan.
So you've been had a bit of a up and down season, haven't they? Really, this season, but they've won a trophy at least. So.
We're on for the treble.
On for a treble, yeah.
not the real treble, but we'll get the treble. Hopefully, win the FA Cup and Europa.
Oh, of course, yeah. Man United doing still in Europa League, of course. So you get some sort of a treble, yeah. Not the proper treble, but
no, not the proper one, but it'll be good to get.
Yeah, it should be good. And I said a little bit about Thierry Henry. I actually follow Arsenal a bit as well, and Arsenal obviously flying high top of the league. So that would be my ideal season if Arsenal win the league and then Stevenage get promoted. Would be absolutely perfect, to be honest.
Yeah, I think both of them will happen as well. Arsenal will definitely win in the league.
Yeah,
yeah.
Even though Erling Haaland is like Superman.
Yeah, it don't matter. I think like the way Arsenal are, the team, just like the team spirit and that, like winning at Bournemouth. I was like, you won the league. When that happens, I'm like, that's not the old Arsenal.
We've done that like 5 times this season as well. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Against you lot was one of them, actually. Man United at home.
That's when we was down. Now we're getting back up.
Picking yourselves up again, yeah. No, so just got 2 more questions really. The first one being sort of what advice would you give to up and coming like players that are coming through?
What age?
Any really.
Okay, I'll just say definitely work hard, because you never know what you can achieve when you're younger until you're older. So you got to give yourself the best opportunity by working hard and putting your all into it. I would say have fun playing football. That's the main reason we all play football at the start. So don't let that go. What had I told the old me? That's what I'm thinking. And just stick to you. Like when I was younger, obviously because you haven't been in the game as long and you ain't as wise, so you basically don't know nothing. Footballers growing up nowadays think they know everything.
Right. Okay. So,
yeah. Just try to have a wise head on you.
And just sort of that actually makes good sense. Yeah, that's very smart. Actually, that bit of advice there. This question, the last one I'm going to ask, was actually from a Stevenage fan who I posted out on Twitter, and he said he wants to find out a little bit about the whole contract situation in the National League. Obviously, I've seen your post the other day about it, and basically his question was, what does the National League sort of players plan to do about the new worst contracts being brought in, basically? And he said, was there like a player strike or anything like that a viable option? So obviously I've read all about it, and it's just I don't know how they can justify that basically at all. I
don't, to be fair. Like, as players, that's the last thing you want going across the line, to know that you could be sacked if you get injured for a long time, or you get £99 a week and you've got to survive when you get injured doing what you get paid to do, really. But yeah, as far as obviously, I saw the message because I've been part of PFA before, and then I just spoke my what I felt. That's something about me. If I feel a way, I'll speak it.
you're
And
very forthright with what you say. Yeah.
And I felt like it needed to be heard anyway because what was going on weren't right.
Yeah.
And then, as you saw, the tweet took off, went viral,
Mm.
went out of my hands. It went out of my hands, but it was good because now everyone's talking about it, and hopefully action's been taken. I know that all the club captains of the league, all the teams in the league have met up, made a group, and I think they're having a sit down with the FA and the PFA to discuss like what's gone on. I know the PFA ain't happy with it, so
No.
I think it's just the FA, but to allow it or to sit around the table and say that's good, that's like good to do, is just the shambles.
But as you said on the tweet, like, you know, you're footballers, but you know, before that, you're human beings with family and, you know, wife, kids, girlfriend, whatever that needs supporting and looking after.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't treat us. Obviously, we are there to entertain. We're there to entertain, but on the other side, we're humans as well. So you got to treat us like humans. Surely.
That's right. Like, you know, if somebody in another job, but they wouldn't be treating people that way if it was another job that wasn't based about entertainment, like on that entertainment like industry or whatever. Like, you know, it needs to be the same rule for everyone. It can't be one rule because you're like sports people or seem to be entertainers or whatever. Like, it just needs to be like a consensus all around, basically.
Yeah, so hopefully they get that sorted. Even the fact that they said they're going to introduce it in June, so you got players that'll be on contracts that don't involve that. Other people on them contracts is just mental.
And then players coming to the end of their contracts as well. So then when they sign a new contract, is he going to be in the new contract? Like,
exactly. Yeah. So, but I'm glad. Like, I did tweet it. I've seen clubs are coming out now and saying like they're not a part of it, which is good.
Yeah.
As long as it's seen, and hopefully they make a decision to say, we were wrong, which that'll be the day. They won't say they're wrong, but hopefully it gets changed.
Just to reverse it. Yeah. All right. So that was from Bulldog Boro. That was on Twitter. He wanted to just kind of get a little bit of a insight into that, really, about what's really happening and, you know, what players are looking to do about it, really. So that probably wraps it up, I think, to be honest, mate. I know, obviously, you said you got a big away game this weekend. And you know, all the best with that game at the weekend, obviously, and you push for the playoffs as well. And it'd be nice to see Boro as a league club, hopefully next year.
Yeah, I hope people the first time in the club's history get promoted. And you'll be in League One, so we won't be seeing you.
Well, maybe you might meet in the FA Cup or something like that.
True.
All right, mate. Take care of yourself. Say hello to Newts for me, and we'll keep looking after Kane and Tay and giving them a promotion medal come the end of it.
I love that. Thank you very much.
All right, mate. All the best, yeah.
Thank you. See you later.
Cheers, mate. Take care.